What's up? Good morning. What's going on, everybody? It seems like it's been forever since we've been here, but it's only been about 10 days. But markets are dull. They're dead. They're quiet. There's not a lot to do. This is one of the problems. I mean, from my morning day trading session with my members, we've had 0 trades in 8 days. So again, I don't know if we'll get anything today, and I'm certainly not going to force anything. But volumes are light, markets are dull. Bitcoin is flying, that's interesting. For you Bitcoin fans, probably a good spot to sell a little bit for a potential short. Just for, again, when I give you these trades, these are short term with a stop, but certainly there should be some sort of a pullback. I would expect a pullback back to 95 or 90,000. But overall, again, a lot of excitement in these markets. Of course, this administration is very, very pro Bitcoin, so we'll see. But in the meantime, as we look back here and see if there's anything before I go and look at anything regular, crude was a possibility about 10 minutes ago. Again, I didn't take it, so I'm not going to tell you it was a good or a bad trade. But there's really so little going on here that I don't see a lot to do. But let's see what the other things look like, and let's run through our board anyways. Apple probably should be sold. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and sell some call spreads here in Apple. Let me just get myself to my screen. And we go. And again, I'm only playing what I call the high probability moves, which when you get to a market that is very overbought, okay, it usually is a pretty good trade to make. The 245, 247, I'm going to sell it at 80 cents. Okay, and again, trade the amount of contracts you're comfortable knowing that you've got $1.70 risk there. Okay, and let's see what else we got here. Go to Amazon. Amazon is also one that we're going to go ahead and take a look at selling here. Again, these are just high probability trades that we assume that the pullback is coming. Sell the 220, 220, 250 for $1. I can do that. Okay, these are all for the 13th, by the way. And then as we look at Coins had some pretty big movement. I did sell this morning. Unfortunately, you weren't with me. But again, it was a sale. Now I would wait for a little bit, see if it rallies back up again. But certainly if it gets back to about 340, would be one to look at. Crowd, certainly not quite to that overbought spot yet. So again, just kind of churning in a consolidation pattern. Meta. As we said last time we're together, look for a rally. Well, now we'd be looking for a spot to sell it. And of course, let's go look at Meta and see if we can find a trade there. And again, these are just, all we're doing now is trying to knock out some credit, okay, so that we can get a little bit of profits here and build our bankroll a little bit. That's all we're doing here. I'm going to sell the 612.50, 615 for $1.20. Okay. And Google, really in the middle of nowhere, as we last together, we saw that it was a potential buy. We did get the rally we were looking for. IWM, really nothing to do, in the middle of nowhere. Again, you got to remember that in these kind of markets, you really have to play the highest of high probabilities. Okay. And that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to knock out a little bit. Moderna did bounce a little bit off those lows, but again, we didn't make a trade. We were worried that it's going out of business. Microsoft, Michael Sierra Foxtrot Tango. Here's one again that I would look to be a seller of. And let's go ahead and see what Microsoft looks like. Let's see, 440, 442.50. And sell that $1.10. I can live with that. And again, all we're playing for is, again, we don't need the market to break. We don't need it to go down from here. We got a little room on the upside where it can continue to go higher. Okay. Monster, what a monster this is. It's in the middle of nowhere, but this is one we played a couple of times and it did pay us off. So that's all we're looking for, is for high probability trades. Nugget, nowhere, nothing to do. Nvidia, nothing to do. The Qs, a little bit oversold. I could live with selling this. Let's take a look at this. Now, this I'm going to sell for today. Okay, because again, I'll look at it again tomorrow, and I'll sell it again tomorrow if the same circumstances are alive. Okay, these are different because you do get daily expirations. Let's see what we look like here. Qs for today. 523, 524, 35 cents. I'll take a whack at that. It's a little bit lighter than I'd like to get, but I'm okay with it. Again, we're slow, we're grinding, we're dull. SMCI, the other day it was something, but again, I'll just sit back and wait. We don't need to overload the boat either. Square, it kind of came off of it, about $4. So we'll wait for that and see. The SPY is another one that is up there a little bit overbought. So let's see what that looks like. And again, this will be for today as well. And remember, when you're using these trades, it's not a necessary one-off. Okay, you should be willing to do these trades again if the same conditions are around. Then you should be willing to do them again. 620, 607, 608 for 42 cents. Okay, which is fine with me. Tesla, that is also up in the stratosphere. I'm gonna take a look at Tesla. Let's see here. For the 13th, Tesla 375, 380, 188. I'm going to work that at $2 and see if I can get filled. Okay. Win, nothing. XBI, nothing. Zoom, nothing. So as you can see, we found a number of opportunities that are potentials. Again, remember, these are trades that the market doesn't have to go in our favor. It just can't go against us. Okay. And that's what we're playing here is the opportunity. Okay. Hold on one second. Okay. So again, we're just waiting and we're playing the probability of what should happen. And of course, here we have virtually nothing. Look at the volume. It keeps drying up and drying up. And this is what you have to learn to understand. Now, there is the jobs number tomorrow, which could create some movement. Okay. One way or the other. We don't know what the jobs are. I mean, we will have to assume the jobs are going to be bad. Okay. But it doesn't mean that the markets are going to go down. Remember, the correlation of news to markets is not always what you think it might be, because the market could have already priced in a bad number, even though the markets have rallied. Okay. They could have rallied further if there's bad news. Okay. In other words, they might have been higher and they might have, the rally might be tempered. But my biggest concern right now is, as you look at everything that we trade in the future side of the world, okay, you have declining volume. Look what's going on in all of these markets. Volume continues to shrink up and dry up, which, again, from a trader standpoint, we want lots of action. Okay, lots of action gives us the most opportunity, and all we can see here is volume falling off. So that's telling you that there's not a lot of action in the market. There's not a lot to do. And so that's when we start looking at, not that you don't always look for other types of trades to make, but you want to be prepared for the market. And right now, again, as we're watching and looking to be more active on the future side in a day trading, model, where's my action? What am I going to do here? What can I possibly trade that I'm taking an advantage or an edge on? And that is something that, again, the whole market's come down to, what's the edge? Okay. I don't have an edge right now. Okay. And I don't know what you're hearing if you're listening to other shows or anything, but to me, there's no advantage to being active in the markets. One of the hardest trades to learn, okay, is the one that says, hey, I'm not getting involved in this market. There's not enough for me to do. I don't see a high probability position for me to be able to trade off of. Okay. And that's something that is important to understand. I got filled on something. Okay. I got filled on Amazon. I got filled on the SPY. Okay. So again, it's sometimes no trade is the same as a trade, and there is not much to trade right now. And if you see something different, please let me know. Now, I'm still in, just personally, I'll give you a couple that I'm in. I'm short snow again. Okay. Again, I lost money on this last week. And I'm willing to reboot the trade, and I'm willing to reboot it at a bigger level. Okay. Because there's going to be some sort of a pullback. And again, it doesn't have to come down. It just has to stay somewhat stagnant. Okay. Coming down would be better, but again, that would make it easier. But it just has to be somewhat stagnant for me. Okay. So we don't have to worry about it. Okay. And that's something that is what you're always looking for. Okay. So that's something that we have to always focus on. But it is very, very slow, and there's very little to do. And we've gone through what we can go through. And we'll watch for a few more minutes, but this is going to be a shorter than normal show. We'll be done. We'll stop about 15, Luis, because there's just nothing to do. So why bother staring at the drying paint when there's nothing really to do here? Okay. This is supposed to be trading live, and right now we're sitting here trading like we're dead, because there's absolutely nothing to do. I mean, these numbers are ridiculous when it comes to the world of trading. And again, if you're trying to force yourself into these markets the way they're trading now, you're just making a mistake. Okay. You're putting yourself at jeopardy when there's really no reason to put yourself at jeopardy. And I think that's something that's important to understand, that sometimes no trade's a trade. And yesterday I played golf, and today I may go out and play golf again, because there is really no reason that I can see that I am missing any trades. And you see by the lack of volume, the lack of price, speed, the lack of the speed of the tape. Okay. I mean, these are virtually not moving. Okay. So where are you going to find the overall edge? And I hope that makes sense to everybody as we look and watch this, because again, there is no real edge in this market right now, because you're not, if you're playing off of the panic and off of the emotions of others, there is no emotion in this market right now. So we have to sit back and wait for that emotion to show, because that gives us the greatest probability and the greatest edge to get to go against the others of who we're trading. And I think that that's something that's important. I got filled on Microsoft. I got filled in the Qs, the SPY, Apple, Meta, Tesla. So we got filled on everything that we're looking for. In the meantime, again, I don't see much to do here. And, we'll just watch for another minute, and maybe something will change. Again, markets don't announce themselves, so we'll just hang out here for a second. But overall, obviously, you can hear me wander on looking for something, or you can use your time wisely to study and watch and try to figure out better things. But right now, I don't see it. So we will call it a day. I'll see you back here next Tuesday. Remember, every day I do the market 120, just a brief market update in the morning. Other than that, have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks as always, and I'll see you later.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.